Hey, good afternoon, everybody. This is Jay Ellison with Echo Benefit Solutions, and I've got my good friend Wes King from We Insure Premier Group. Said that right. And then we're going to talk about the state of the other kind of insurance in Florida. So I do health, life, and Medicare. Wes has the other license, which is property and casualty, which is homeowners and car insurance. And everybody in our area is freaking out right now because of rate increases. Everything's going up like insanely high. So I thought I'd have Wes on to talk about, kind of three things you need to know about what's going on with property and casualty insurance right now. So the first thing we were going to ask is, so like, what's the state of the union for homeowners insurance right now in Florida?
Yeah, so Jay, so thanks for having me on here. Kind of what we're seeing right now with homeowners in Florida, and I'll tell you, David Altmaier, kind of the insurance commissioner here, went out earlier this year and said that there's 12 different insurance carriers right now that have been forced to do monthly reporting instead of quarterly reporting. And part of that is because of the amount of losses that we're seeing so far and whether or not these insurance carriers are still going to be here in 6 to 8 months and what their surplus looks like. And a lot of that has to do with loss ratios and what we're seeing for losses. It's crazy to think that in 2020, those losses that we saw, even with all the roofing claims and everything that was going on, were actually less than what we saw in the first quarter of 2021. So we're actually seeing an increase of claims. Now, whether or not that's all roofing related, or if it's the fact that with the pandemic, people are home more often and they're seeing things that are happening. And so they're making more claims. That's kind of what's driving the industry right now. And we're seeing a lot of carriers just struggle, to be profitable. The overall, I think this was just put out this last week that I saw, was the total combined loss ratio for the state of Florida's insurance carriers was 126%. What that means is they lost 26% more than what they actually brought in for revenue. So that's pretty.
Only the government can have those kind of numbers.
Yeah, so it's pretty, I mean, the insurance companies, most people don't realize, but the insurance companies are a for-profit company, right? Like, they're not there to lose money. So when that happens and we see what's going on, we're seeing everything get super strict and super tight as far as what you can get. And it's also, we're seeing rate increases. Fourth quarter that I'm seeing right now for most of the clients in the Tampa Bay area that I'm seeing is around 40%. Yeah, it's scary because most of those people had rate increases last year that were 20 to 30%. And I don't see that slowing down.
Oh my God. Yeah. Your phone's going to melt. That's and not necessarily in a good way. Yeah. Dang. So in terms of saving money and trying to put a dent in that 40, this is where not swearing is very difficult, 40% increase. Like, how do you, you see in the commercials with that one company with the chick with the weird hair, talks about bundling. So is that like, what else, like, how can you put a dent in that?
Yeah. So one thing I hear all the time from people who call me is, especially people who are not necessarily from Florida, is, well, can I bundle my auto and save a ton of money? I hear it all the time on TV. Give us your home, your auto, your firstborn child. You'll save a ton of money. Now, I will tell you, it's probably realistically, less than 10% of the time that I actually see that that's an advantage. Most of the time, it's better to put your homeowners with one company and your auto with another. Now, it doesn't mean that bundling doesn't work. But in most cases that I see, it's actually better if we separate it out, and we'll actually save you more money that way. Because let's say the bundle saves you an additional $200 every 6 months. But if we separate it out and we save you $500 every 6 months on your auto insurance, hey, that's better than the bundle discount that's saving you that little bit of money. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Now, I'll tell you what separates us from some of the other guys out there. So we've got 68 different options for homeowners and auto carriers. So we can shop it for you, find out who's going to give you the best rate.
Yeah, I know, and it's we both kind of do things the same way as independent brokers, where we can shop it across different companies, and just because bundling works for one person doesn't mean it's work for other, because the variables are all different. The age, the value of the house, age of the house, condition of the roof. For people it's age, smoking, all that other stuff. So, well, my neighbor got this rate. Well, you're not your neighbor, jackass. So you don't say that out loud, of course. You just think it really hard, but but like 5 people got new roofs on my street during the Great Plague. So I mean, there's definitely a lot of truth to that. So in terms of how old your roof is, like what does that do, especially in Hurricane Alley here for
Yeah.
your homeowner?
So this has been big this year, and we're seeing this when people are selling their homes a lot, and when people are buying a new home, right? They've had a claim on their roof. They're trying to get new coverage, and they're having a super hard time trying to get it because they made a roof claim. The people that are then trying to buy their house, because that claim follows the insured, so it follows you, the person who submitted the claim, and it also follows that house. So the new buyers are having difficulty sometimes getting insurance for the new home that they're buying because it
Because
had
you
a prior
filed the
claim.
claim on the last home.
Exactly.
That makes no friggin' sense.
So
like you're not taking the roof with you.
nope. But because you're more inept to place a claim on it, that's what we're seeing. Now, I will tell you the crazy thing that I'm seeing right now on roofing, but I see the reason behind it, because I also see the ins and outs, and I see what's going on with the losses, right?
Yeah.
A lot of insurance companies, if you've got a shingle roof, some of the carriers have said, we're not going to insure that roof if it's over 10 years of age.
Right.
Now, that's crazy, considering most of these roofing companies tell you, oh, it's warranted for 30, it's a 30-year shingle roof. Well, if it's a 30-year shingle roof, then it shouldn't be having issues at 17 years, 18 years. But those are the majority of the claims that we're seeing. And so to mitigate that, some of these insurance carriers who have always taken 15, 20-year-old shingle roofs have said, okay, unless it's 10 years or less, we won't touch it. Now, there are some options. I have a carrier available where we can take a shingle roof that's 15 years old and write it with them. And what they're doing to mitigate this is they're giving you an option. They're saying, look, we'll insure it, but we want you to take this roof payment schedule. What that means is you have a roof that's, say, 18 years old on a shingle roof. It may say we're going to pay 25% of what it costs to replace that roof in the event of a wind, hail, or hurricane loss.
Mm-hmm.
So what it does is it kind of puts some of that ownership on a homeowner, right? Because as a homeowner, you're expected to maintain your house. Hot water heater, dishwasher breaks down, you got to fix it. You got to do those things.
Yeah.
And so this makes them partially responsible for part of that roof, especially on a roof that's 17 years old. It's probably going to need to be replaced within the next 3 to 4 years anyways.
Yeah, you got to know that's coming. Yeah. Especially if it's in Florida, between the hurricanes and the heat, it's not going to make it. So what's next? I mean, so 40% increase in fourth quarter, and next year we're going to have, meteors, murder hornets, sinkholes. Like what's next?
So I've been doing this for 20 years now, and I've seen the ups and downs in the market and some different things that change, right? I think if nothing is done legislatively to change some of the wording in some of these the roofing bills that were passed. There was one that was passed, Senate Bill 76, that had a lot to do with roofing, but it got watered down before it got passed, right? And so not much has changed. We're still seeing those claims come in. So at this point, I think that rates are still going to increase. I think we're going to see this increase this year. And I think what you're going to also see is, for those people who've been in Florida for a while, Citizens Insurance Company is the company of last resort in the state of Florida for your homeowners insurance. It's where you go if you can't get insurance through any other standard carrier. We're going to continuously see them grow. I think probably by March or April of next year, Citizens will have over 1 million policyholders in the state of Florida. That is huge. And because Citizens doesn't want your business, right? Like, they specifically state we're of last resort. So it's just seeing what's going to happen with that. Now, I think if we can get out to the public and get out to people that, hey, your homeowner's insurance is not a warranty, right? Like, you buy warranties on your washer, your dryer, your refrigerator, things like that. You get a warranty on your roof. If something happens, we'll cover it, you know.
Yeah.
But insurance isn't that way. It's for things that happen, you know, acts of God that are, that you know, nothing you can do is going to stop it, that are major. Um, and so, another way people can save on their premium, they can increase their deductibles. Go with a $2,500 deductible on your all other perils. If you've got that money set aside, why not? Because honestly, I'll tell you, I wouldn't specifically want to use my homeowner's insurance unless that claims at least $5,000 plus.
Yeah.
That's
You're,
what it's there for.
you're going to end up paying more in premium over the life of the home and stuff for filing a claim that you could have just paid for. So you're just, because you want it free right now, you're going to end up paying more money over time, and it's kind of, that sounds kind of foolish.
Yeah. And we're all paying for it, right? Like,
Yeah.
I can tell you right now, if you didn't get a new roof, you're still paying for everybody else that got new roofs over the last year with these rate increases. And it's not just roofing, it's just, it's all around, and I think, again, I think it has a lot to do with pandemic. People were home more often. They would see things, and people just haven't been trained to think that, hey, this homeowner insurance, it's not a warranty. It's for those things that occur that are out of your control, that are major, and that's what
these companies are going door to door telling you they can get you a new roof for free. They're not telling you that you're, the second order effect is that is your rates are going to go up even if you move out of the house. Like they're not tell you that, you know. And we both have, good friends that are attorneys, and I love my attorneys, but until the legislature fears or gets more grief from the public about the rates, that becomes more painful than the trial lawyers. Probably not going to change. But I mean, it's not the attorney's fault. I mean, it's just the everybody's operating within the framework of the law, and the law says this is what you can do. Do it.
Exactly. And I think that's the big thing here that we've got to start seeing as people in the state and residents of the state who start to see this, because again, from what I'm seeing in this area, it's on average about 40%. Does that mean everyone's getting 40%? No. I've seen some that are 15%. I've seen some that are 100%. So it just depends on where you live at, what your loss history looks like, your whole aspect within your house, right? So that's where it's going to get really scary, is as people start to see these and as these rates start to keep increasing, because again, losses this year so far are greater than they were first quarter of 2020. So with that tells me that rates are not going to come back down anytime soon. They're probably going to continue to increase. And so people just need to be prepared of that. If you've been with the same company for 20 years and all of a sudden you're seeing these huge rate increases, these are great times to go out and shop your policy. Make sure you're getting the best coverage you need. I always tell people too, don't buy the lowest policy possible.
How that works.
And then get upset later on when the insurance company says, well, there's no coverage for that. You didn't purchase that coverage, therefore it's not going to be there. I'll tell people though too, I give people options. I'll give you a recommendation, and I'll also give you, hey, here's what's the bottom dollar, and if you want that, you can purchase it. It's not up to me, but my job is to make sure that you've got the coverage that I recommend, and you at least have that option on your plate available to you.
Yeah, I know we've had versions of this conversation before, and it's so funny how similar. Like we're helping people insure different things, but it's very often the very same conversation. Like, you can do that. I wouldn't recommend it, but and if you ever have to use this policy, you're not going to be happy. But grown-ups get to do what grown-ups want to do. So I'll put your information on the bottom as usual, but Wes King with We Insure Premier Group is an independent broker like me. So how many companies for homeowners again?
Almost 68 different carriers.
Jeez.
Yeah,
that's more than I got. So but yeah, so like you said, it can't hurt to shop, to at least ask. That doesn't cost anything to try, and save some money. That's prices of everything going up. Saving a few extra bucks here and there is a really, really good idea. So, all right, thanks, brother. And we'll, I hope your team wins today, since you're not playing me in fantasy football. And, but talk to you soon.
Hey, appreciate it, Jay.